Good morning. Today we're going to be talking about how yelling could harm your kids, like how yelling at your kids could harm them and how to stop. Because do you find that sometimes you ask nicely, hey, put your shoes away, and then you ask nicely again, little Timmy, I told you to put your shoes away, or it's almost time for bed, and you just talk as nicely as you possibly can. But then instead of listening to you, they start running around in circles or doing something that you don't want them to do. And eventually, we yell, not because we choose to yell, not because we wake up in the morning and say, I would like to yell at my kids today. We yell at our kids because we end up in a state of frustration. We end up feeling completely out of control. That's usually what I like. If I feel like angry about something, it's because I don't feel like I have control over the outcome and it comes out in yelling. If you're just getting to know us, I want to say that we're Bonnie and Thomas Leota. We bring to the table more than 60 years in the realm of personal development, leadership type roles in our lives. I come from a business leadership role. Thomas has worked with thousands of kids since the late 1980s. He started as a baseball coach, moved on to get his black belt in Taekwondo, ended up teaching white belts and working with thousands of kids in an after school program he called Creating Champions for Life. I have been praying for a way to empower children since 1994. That was about 5 years before I even had my first child, who is now, he'll be 25 soon. So time is flying by. But I remember reading a book called Think and Grow Rich and thinking, oh my gosh, if I knew what was in this book when I was 12 or 13 or 15, I never would have done all the stupid things that I did as a teenager because I had the feeling of being unworthy or unloved, which gave me the thought that when I have kids and when I'm a mom, I want to make sure my kids feel loved. If that's a belief or a statement that you've thought before, give me a comment or like a like or a heart or something so I can know that I'm speaking to the right people. I want to make sure my kids know how special they are. I'm going to give my kids an easy life. Over my dead body, are you going to do anything to hurt my children? These are thoughts that I had, of course, before I became a mother. And then 18 years into my personal development journey, when my kids were ages 6 to 12, they were all on what I call the negative side of the spectrum. So maybe you're coming to our group because your child's been diagnosed with a behavior disorder like ADHD, Asperger's, autism, oppositional defiant disorder. Maybe you're coming to our group because you'd like to have more peace and harmony in your home. You just want to find better ways to communicate. You're here specifically today to learn how to empower your children to get them to listen to you without yelling. Am I right about this? I am going to be looking for comments. Let's be interactive, so we're just not talking heads, talking at you guys. Make sure that we're on the same page. So, are you here to learn better ways to communicate with your kids so that you can stop yelling at them? Thank you for the comment. Yes, yes. Thank you so much for sharing because we've all done it. I've done it. When I met Thomas, I was like the nicest mom until I wasn't the nicest mom. And it's just like, what do you do at the end of the day when every single parenting expert is teaching you to do something different? Right? It's like, be nice to your kids, give rewards, don't give rewards, put them in timeouts, don't use timeouts. Isn't it frustrating? So at the end of the day, when your kids are walking all over you and running the house, you're like locking yourself in the bathroom, crying, going, do whatever you're going to do because like I'm done. So that's where I was at when I met Thomas. 18 years of personal development, leadership in my community, had over 10,000 people in my business, but I could not control my house at all. And so, with that being said, I would like to read you guys something. Before I do, let me share my screen with you. I found some research that says that yelling at children, where is it here? Today's parent says, Oh, that's not what I want you to see. Just a minute. No, that's not. Let me see. Block that. Okay. Oh, that's not working. So let me share that again. Share screen. Window. Here it is. Okay. Go away. It says, is yelling at your kids as bad as spanking? Research claiming yelling at kids is as harmful as hitting or spanking has many parents worried, learning about the long term effects for your family. So I just wanted to share that with you because this isn't just something that we're sharing because we are making this up or we want to make anybody feel bad. Yelling at kids is, first of all, how does it make you feel? And this is where, if you have the PDF for today, we have negative, neutral, and positive on the PDF. You can start writing on the PDF right now. Yelling makes me feel good, bad, or neutral, right? You can write that in your PDF yourself. But I want to say this. I want to say that before 1946, before we started really yelling at kids, there was something called corporal punishment, where if you looked at your parents the wrong way, they took you out back behind the barn and they beat you with a switch. They locked you in closets. If you acted out in class, they tortured you. Literally had a dunce cap. Remember the dunce cap? They put logs on the child's back like this. And so they'd have to sit in the classroom with a log on their back all day as a form of punishment. And obviously, like, ew, like that's not good. Physical punishment causes children to grow up in a fear-based mentality. So in 1946, everything changed with Dr. Spock's book called Baby and Child Care. And in that book, he said we shouldn't be beating our children. We should be lavishing them with everything that they want, giving them all the attention that they need. And then when they do something you don't like, you take them and you put them in a timeout. But how many of us know that taking your child and putting them into a timeout isn't working? And we still end up at the end of the day yelling. So I want to say this before I pass it over to Tom and we start giving you solutions. I want you to understand the detrimental effects. Could yelling harm your children? Could saying things like, we're not here to listen to you whine. We didn't come to the beach today to listen to you whine. Shut up. Stop it. Don't do that. I heard a mom at the Walmart the other day. She had a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old and a baby in her arms. And she looked at the 5-year-old and goes, oh, what? I should do that because you're so special? Like, we don't do these things on purpose. It's because today's parenting has given us zero tangible things to actually use to work with our kids in harmony. How many of us would agree with what I just said? That you've tried everything under the sun to get your kids to cooperate, but nothing just seems to work. Okay. As you're sharing with me in the comments, maybe some of your experience, I want to read. This is Eckhart Tolle. This is the voice of knowledge. And I've never found anyone who explains it better of what happens to our children. Now, in the meantime, I want to share a visual with you. I'm going to go to window. Let me share this visual with you. Because when I talk about putting kids into a box, this is kind of what it looks like to me. All right. He's talking from a child perspective. He says this: when I finally understand the language, almost everybody begins to tell me what I am. The way I learn about myself is by hearing the opinions of the storytellers around me. My mother creates an image of me based on what she believes I am. She tells me what I am, and I believe her. Then my father tells me what I am, and it's something completely different, but I agree with him too. Of course, each of my brothers and sisters has an opinion of me. I agree with them. Surely they must know more than I do, even though I'm the one who lives in this physical body. None of this makes sense, but I'm having fun. Then I go to school, and the teachers tell me what I am, which is still okay until she tells me the way I should be, but I am not. Oh God, I'm going to cry. Every single time I read this part, I get super emotional because didn't you at some point in time in your life feel like people are telling you what you should be and how you should act, but you're not that person? And so inside, then you feel unworthy. All right. So then the child says, I agree. And the problem begins at that moment. I hear the teacher say, children, you need to work hard to become somebody, to be a success in life. The world is divided into winners and losers, and you're here to prepare yourself to become a winner. If you work hard, perhaps you will be a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer. My teacher tells me stories about all of the past presidents and what they did when they were children. Of course, all of the heroes are winners. I am a child. I am innocent. I learn the concept of winner. I agree that I should become a winner. And that's it. The agreement is stored in my memory. At home, I hear my parents say, Miguel, you have to behave this way to be a good boy, which means that if I don't behave that way, I am not a good boy. They don't say this, but I understand this. You have to do this, this, and that to be a good boy. Then you will get a reward. If you are not that way, you will be punished. Oops, I'm too small. They are big. I try to rebel and I fail. They win. I start pretending to be what I am not to avoid the punishment, but also to get the reward. What they tell me to become, because the reward only goes to good boys. I remember trying so hard to become what they want me to be, just to have the reward of their attention, just to hear them say, Miguel, you are such a good boy. What I don't notice behind all of the messages I hear are the silent messages that are never said, but that I can understand. I am not the way I should be. It is not okay to be me. Eek. How powerful is this message? Tom, take the PDF down for a minute and just talk with me just for a minute as we get into today's message, because we're talking about, could yelling at your kids hurt them? And just before you take it over, I want you to imagine, moms and dads, you wake up in the morning, you stub your toe. You wake up in the morning, you stub your toe. You have a physical hurt toe for a minute. Is it more detrimental to look at you and go, oh my God, stop. I said stop it right now. You're not listening to me. Is it more detrimental to be yelled at or to stub your toe? Just a thought. I'm just throwing it out there. And I would love to have answers, comments, share with us in the comments on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you're watching this. In the live room, you can share comments also. Thomas, what are your thoughts on about what I just shared before we get into the solution of how we can stop yelling at our kids?
Well, first and foremost, I want to say thank you for taking on the challenge to bring awareness to the I don't know parenting world, which seems to encompass like 99.99989% of the moms out there that are going, I don't know what to do. And just the fact of not even knowing is detrimental in itself. How many of us can relate on some levels? And of course, we're talking to the majority of the moms, and there's a few dads. Would that be some, none, or a lot? That I don't know is like a paralyzer. Now,
yes,
that being said, Bonnie shared with me this morning, and she also put it into the post. What if our little genius offsprings were just little mini humans? Maybe we're big kids, not adults, but what if we were big kids and they're just little kids? And they picked us to show them how the world works. And what if they were introduced to the world in the I don't know either category? Because none of us are really born like a spider knowing how to just spin a web, right? And the only conversation that I have that's coming towards me and is in a vibration that you don't even have to be an Einstein to know, but you can feel that it's like negative or hurting or a don't, if we were to put a label onto it. And how crazy would this feel? That if you were to show up here in physical form from the spiritual world, you showed up here in physical form, 1 out of a million options to get here. And you were promised that a trusted advisor would be waiting for you, better known as mom and dad, to show you how the world works and guide you so you can go from zero to hero and launch out of the nest like every animal in our animal kingdom does. And all you got was something that felt negative, sounded negative, and then left you in a box of like, why should I even bother getting out? Because every time I do, my hand gets whacked. Crazy victory to be a winning lotto ticket and show up in that format. That's the thoughts that I had coming through my mind here, Bonnie. Back to you.
Yeah, awesome. I have a couple comments like being yelled at is worse. Another one is so true. When we learn to please others instead of learning who we are, it can make us feel unworthy. I added the last part, Celine, but we're getting some comments come in. We love interacting with you all, whether you agree or disagree, you have an opinion, you have a question to ask. We're bringing a different spin to parenting. If you're just joining us, Thomas and I come from personal development backgrounds. He ran a program, an after school program called Creating Champions for Life, where he had an all day daycare center at his martial arts school, because all of the kids that were getting kicked out of traditional daycares for what we call poor behavior were being sent to his school. He developed a reputation for fixing these kids. I had a 18-year personal development journey with a dream to empower children. I read every parenting book under the sun. I know all about brick wall parenting. I know about gentle parenting. I know about positive parenting. I know about conscious parenting. Oh my gosh, like you name it. And this is a thing. It causes so much confusion because every parenting methodology out there that has the child being the cause, the child acts out in poor behavior, so we need to yell at them. The child acts out with what we call poor behavior, we need to punish them. And what I see is this: the child's in a box. The box, it represents who we want them to be, how we want them to act. We want them to be quiet and tiptoe around when we're on the phone, don't we? Right? Don't we want to have like a bath or be able to go pee in private? Like, wouldn't it be nice? Like, leave me alone. Like, we get to the point where it's just like we want to put our kid into the we don't want to put our kid into the box. We love our kids. We want the best for our kids. We want to protect our kids. We want to give them a great life. But what ends up happening is, like Thomas said, every time they take their hand out to do something, we put them back into the box of no, we don't do that. It's it's okay. One of the gentle parenting. This is great. It's okay to be angry. Let's name your emotion. But it's not okay to throw the blocks. Let's read a book. Like, okay, so why I'm saying this is because this child that's in a box, your child, put your child inside this box. If you have a child that's angry, acting out, has a behavior disorder, I'm here to tell you right now, there's nothing wrong with your child. They can learn anything you're willing to take the time to show them. Children thrive off proactive attention, but they're here to be who they are here to be. They have their own desires, their own goals, their own needs. And so we would never say, you be good, we'll give you a chocolate bar. Because, yes, that's the reward system that positive parenting says we don't use rewards. Is ignoring and silent treatment as bad as yelling? Oh, Humayun goes to his spouse. He goes, "Oh my gosh, I saw this trip I want to plan. I want to take the family to Hawaii." And she turns around and walks away from you. How do you feel about this? Moms, you see a pair of shoes. "Oh my gosh, I love that pair of shoes. I want that pair of shoes." And your husband turns around and walks away and completely ignores you. How do you feel? Share with me in the comments, please, because bathroom is a big one for me. Yes, I said that because it was a big one for me too. I'd like to just be able to go to the bathroom. Okay. So there is a way that we've never been taught before until now when it comes to parenting, how to take your kid out of the box and also how to get everything that you want, be able to talk on the phone, be able to have free time to read a book, be able to build and grow your business from home. There is a way to work with your children in harmony which we can show you. I mean, Thomas and I have a 12-month mentoring program that parents join because it takes that long to get rid of old beliefs. Like it's our job to control our child. This is what putting the child into the box looks like. And this is why we yell at our kids because you can't control anybody, like contrary to popular belief. You cannot control your children. So die trying. But it's never going to work. It's never going to happen. So if you want to have close connected harmony relationship with your kids, you want to be able to talk to them like this. There is a way. Today, we're going to show you how to stop yelling. Today, we're going to make you aware that obviously yelling is very detrimental to your child's self-worth. Telling them what to do constantly is very detrimental to their self-worth. Telling them what not to do is detrimental to their self-worth. So Thomas, pull up the PDF, please. And if you're watching us outside of anywhere in our group, if you need the PDF, please make sure to post a comment and we'll get you the PDF. Now, Humayun said, I could just draw out the PDF lesson. And I'm like, yeah, but like, how cool is that to have in a Creating Champions for Life binder, a bunch of like stick drawings, right? Like if you print off the weekly PDF, then what happens is you can get a little binder that says Creating Champions for Life. And you'll have the title page, and then you'll have the matching PDF to go with it. And over a period of months or a year, whatever, you'll have your little collection of PDFs that you can go back to and refer to until you know that you need some help implementing what we're teaching you. So, Tom, go ahead and pull up. Yes.
I was just going to compliment Humayun. I apologize if I butchered it last week. I am working on getting it better. How close am I?
You're better.
Humayun. Now, what I'd like to validate here is, yes, you could monkey see, monkey do, see it, and trace it out on your paper, because that is a great starting point above just looking at it and then it's gone. And then whether you take that page and put it into a binder, so you can have repetition learning by being able to recall it, because when it's written down, it's sure to last. What a very unique way to do exactly what it is. Either way, who's winning? Humayun. I like that. And that's you embracing your own uniqueness as a genius. Great job. So here's our PDF. Where would you like to start, Bonnie?
I want you to go up to the negative, neutral, and positive, which Tom wrote: hurt, hold, or help. Okay, so are we hurting our kids? Are we holding them like in a pattern of like no growth, just kind of like neutral? Or are we actually helping them go to another level? And even before we get to this, I want to make sure so I remember, there was a comment that said, I can't help but to yell when I see him in danger. You know, like, I mean, yeah, if they're gonna take
Can
a
I
step
address
and
that,
fall off a
Bonnie?
cliff. Yeah, go ahead.
Because I love the ethic point of view, the moral point of view, the safety issue point of view. And we're going to validate that because those will always be there. And yes, that's going to be part of the game. You're making a very good point. But after the fact of, even though it's part of saving their lives or keeping them from being hurt, may I ask you this question? What does that have to do with helping them in the relationship of they picked you to show them how the world works so you could prepare them to leave out of the nest? It's still in a reactive approach, and that's what we're looking to bring awareness to. Yes, it's valid, but it should not be the prime directive. It should be part of the equation. And when you can see the bigger picture, you'll know exactly what to do, but you may not be the best at it, yet. Back to you, Bonnie.
Yeah, that's awesome, Tom, because what we teach you here at Creating Champions for Life is proactive is better than reactive. You see, we yell at our kids for any reason, out of frustration, or because they're out of control, or because they're in danger. It all comes from the same root of the tree, so to speak, and it's reacting to our child's behavior, right? We walk in, catch them doing something we don't like, we react. We're on the phone, they come in yelling, we react. We're at a cliff on a hike, they go to fall off the edge, we're forced to react. And the reason why we're forced to react is because we haven't taken the time to actually show them the life skills of what they need. So let's look at attention deficit disorder. Dr. Leon Eisenberg is the gentleman that came up with, I believe he called it kinetic. When it came out in 1968, it was not called ADHD. It's been renamed throughout the years, ADD, now ADHD. But basically, attention deficit disorder. Like, just think about the name and break it down. We're talking about linguistics today. We're writing deficit. Yeah, is that a positive or negative word? Right? Is control a negative, neutral, or positive word? To control, to be out of control, to control another human being. But we're talking about attention deficit. Means a deficit of attention. Right. And I know that sounds counterintuitive because you're with your kids all day long and you read them stories every night and you feed them and you are with them and you're, whatever. But what we're talking about is a deficit of proactive attention based on who they are, not who you want them to be. How much does
Oh,
this
that
make
is so bang on, Bonnie. You could not have hit a better bullseye or a hole in one in golf, because the deficit that they're talking about, and this is the part that they don't want you to know about, or they just don't know how to
Maybe
explain
they
it to you
don't know. Like,
correctly.
I want to say that I do believe that every teacher, counselor, therapist, psychologist, pediatrician, I want to say that I do believe that everybody's doing the best they can with what they know. I do
Yes.
believe that their intentions are great. We don't want to beat our children. We don't want to leave bruises and hurt them. I get that. But what we're not seeing is that, like, we've been, like, since the beginning of time, we've reacted to what we as adults perceive as poor or negative behavior. You see what I'm saying? So I get, like, the whole world that's teaching you and writing books, like, get on their level and look them in the eye and explain to them why they're being put into a timeout. Like, I get that, but then on the other hand, it's like there's articles that very clearly say that children cannot think abstractly. They do not understand sarcasm. So when you say, we're not here to listen to you whine to your child at the lake, the child's looking at you going, what? Like, I have no idea, number one, what you just said. Number two is, I have no idea what you want me to do, because listening to you whine, where does that go? Negative, neutral, or positive? Where does arguing go? Where does oppositional defiant disorder go on this map here? Hurt, hold, or helping, negative, neutral, or positive? Where does chaos go? Where does guilt go? Right? And these are all the results that come from a very specific cause. Reacting to, where does bad behavior go? And so we're showing you very clearly, this exercise will show you, no wonder why we're living in chaos and frustration and sadness and disharmony and broken relationships with our children. Yelling is like an effect to a cause, because we're reacting. Go ahead, Tom.
So very true, Bonnie. And so if we could actually take a moment, I want to talk to the moms that are in the arena of, my child has this label, or my child has this diagnosis, because those are all your reality. That is the truth of what you're looking to make it through the maze called life. And so when the kids were coming to the martial art after school daycare center with special needs, I remember parents saying, and ADHD and ODD and everything else that they were being shared by their professionals. That's their starting point. And what I mean by this is that's why they were being removed from all the other daycares for quote unquote bad behavior, not able to stop hitting all the other kids, not able to stop throwing blocks. Now, when we did is, if you could see that there was a deficit of attention. So the diagnosis is correct. There is a deficit of attention. But what is the attention really on? You see, what we bring to the awareness is, what if you could see it this way? You either want to push your agenda, better known as imprinting on them, your way, just because the last 3 generations were actually trained to do that. And if you'd like to know why, reading Raising Healthy Happy Cooperative Kid ebook and audiobook will give you exactly why this is, how you got here. But it was when we were able to bring the kid in and go, okay, I can't control you to make you do what I want you to do. And we'll talk about this in a moment more. You can't control the genius spirit. You can guide it or you can punish it, but you cannot control it. That's an illusion. So if you push onto them what you want them to do, well, the little winning lotto ticket who showed up here in physical form, 1 out of a million odds of being the only one to make it, was going, I was promised when I showed up here that my trusted advisors, better known as mom and dad, would see my greatness as a little genius that has some beautiful gifts to give to the world. You don't have to believe me, but if you look at your thumbprint, none of them match. So you can't deny that there's something unique about this. And if you can wrap your head around it to where it was like, show me how the world works and let me do it in my own unique way. You see, that's where the shift went from the negative to the positive with the kids who were diagnosed with attention deficit, because the parents were wanting them to do it their way. If not, whack, back in the box. No, you can't do it this way. Nope, back in the box. And we were able to show them that this is how it's done, what the big kids do. And then allow that monkey see, monkey do to kick in. We gave them an attention. And if you remember from your PDF, you have it on the right-hand side, which is in green. Instead of a deficit, what was the opposite? You guessed it, surplus. We gave the attention of the surplus to go, there's a little genius who is embracing their own uniqueness and they're looking to be guided versus punished. And that's when every single child came to life. Every single time. Just like anything that had a deficit of sunlight, a plant, but then got a surplus, came back to life. It's not something you can argue with. You either don't want to understand it or you don't know this. But if you do, oh my gosh, where has this been hiding my whole life? And then the second part is, what if we could just give them the label? And I want to talk to you moms and give yourself permission. If anybody tells you that there's a label of your kid, say thank you. And then take this one and put it in its place. You know, my child has ADHD, ODD, and just make the whole list. And then switch it around and go, you know what else my little genius has? Yeah, I'm going to give him the label of MLS. Say it one time with me. MLS. And that would
MLS.
stand for missing life skills.
Yes. So
And
Thomas,
then this will give you the door to open up. Back to you, Bonnie.
right. This is what I want to bring in. I want everybody here to watching to know that, like, anything that you've experienced, we've experienced 100 times more. When I met Tom, I had 4 kids, ages 6 to 12. My youngest was ODD, ADHD. My 10-year-old was anxiety, depression. My 11-year-old, well, I mean, she just slipped through the cracks of a diagnosis, but she was very sneaky, lying, cheating. She would say she went from me being her favorite person on the planet, like when I used to come home from work and there'd be love notes on my bed, and I'd pick her up to bring her to bed and she'd wrap her arms and legs around me. She just loved me so much. And then by the time she was 11, I was the worst person on the planet. She hated me. My 12-year-old didn't even want me to touch him. He was also diagnosed with ADHD. And I did give in to medicating after 6 years of fighting the system. I finally said, well, maybe I am hurting him by not getting him medication. And I saw him literally have a panic attack when he thought he was out of medication. This kid right here, this is his apartment where he was at when we found him. His dad died on July 1st of this year. My son knew him from the local skate park. They were friends. They used to smoke weed together. So, I mean, we've dealt with everything. He said, Tyler's dad just died. And I said, well, where's he going to go? And he said, he doesn't really have anywhere to go. His mom is addicted to crack cocaine. His family came into this apartment where his dad left him, and took everything of value, the bank cards, the jewelry. Oh God. They took everything of value except for the kid. They left the kid there. So we thought, well, maybe, things don't happen by chance or luck. We're creating champions for life. We know how to empower these kids. I think that this is an opportunity. God gave us a gift, and we need to take him. Anyway, the day before this picture was taken, we brought him and his girlfriend to the lake, and he spent the last 3 hours at the lake crying, threatening to leave, to walk home, because the 2 kids that my son and his girlfriend didn't want to do what he wanted to do. So this kid was diagnosed with also ADHD, ODD, put on medications at the age of 6, was on sleeping pills from the age of 13 because the medications that he was on for behavior affected his sleep pattern. So then he needed sleeping pills by the age of 13. So when he came here, I'm just saying, he was a total complete disaster. He had 2 3-year-old toddler temper tantrums for hours at a time. He's been here for less than 90 days, and we've worked through very proactively. This is Tom sitting with him on the Wednesday, just before he moved in with us, making a plan to say, if you're going to come live with us, this is how it's going to be. Do you agree? Yes or no? And so they had everything proactively. So when we're talking about, yes, like everything that we teach will help you if you have a child with ODD, ADHD. I want you to know what ODD is. ODD is a child who acts out in anger or aggression for any longer than 6 months. But if we bring back this scenario again, let me just bring up these visuals, I think mean a lot. So let's say that I put you into a box of who I think you should be, and you're not that person. And every time you go to do something or say something or share something, I go, no, we're not doing that. Supper's in 10 minutes. No, you can't have a cookie. God damn it. Supper's in 10 minutes. Hey, I said, turn off the video game. I asked you nicely 3-4 times, turn off the video game. Turn off the video game. Okay. Go back inside the box of who I want you to be. How long? Please comment. Please participate with me. How long would it take before you became angry with me? Are you angry with me right now? Be who I want you to be. I'm on the phone. Be quiet. Dawn, what does not long mean? 5 minutes, a day, a month, a year? Would you become angry? Now, let's say that you can't just leave. It's not Bonnie. Let's say that you're at a job and your boss is talking to you like this. Hey, we don't do that. We don't write emails that long. Get back to work. Jess says 5 minutes. Yes, I would get angry. A day or two. Dawn, you're a very patient person. Eve says it gets old being told what to do. Okay, so we have been taught through parenting experts, books, videos, We've been taught everywhere, all over the sun, that you need to discipline your child for bad behavior. What we're trying to get you to see is that your child is perfect, genius, great, outstanding in every single way. We force them into the box at around the age of 18 months to 2 years old. We call them terrible twos because they start getting into your things. They start becoming annoying. They start talking. They start responding with no. They go into the fridge. They take the Parmesan cheese. They empty it all over your carpet. They take black markers. They draw on your white couch. I get it. I get it, moms and dads, but they don't get it is what we're trying to say. And if we take them into a restaurant and we've never done restaurant practice training before we take them to a restaurant, how could we ever have the right to get mad at them for something they don't know? If they take a black marker and they draw their artwork all over the white couch, how could we ever get mad at them for something we have not taken the time to teach them how to do? All right. This is Marie. She's also been diagnosed with everything under the sun. And she's just the brightest, beautifulest little girl. I just love her so much. We have so much time when we're hanging out together because I listen to her. So we're going to say, start listening to your children, start seeing them not as children. No is always my son's answers. Yes, but we're going to start changing things. If you hang out with us, come to our group. If you go to the description of this video, Jess, and on YouTube, there's a link that says Raising Healthy, Happy, Cooperative Kids group. Come to our group. Learn more about creating champions for life. Don't take all of our word for it right now, right? Like, we're just here, people talking heads. So come to our group. Get to know us a little bit. Hang out with us a little bit more. You'll see. We can't even go out because my son acts out in restaurants. Of course. Okay. You'll see that if we take the time to proactively give them attention, to listen to everything they have to say. So I want to say this. Validating your child's wants, needs, or desires. Is that a negative, neutral, or positive? Share with me in the comments. I want a cookie 10 minutes before dinner. We know you don't want them to have a cookie 10 minutes before dinner. We're not saying to give him a cookie 10 minutes for dinner. We're saying validating his desire for a cookie. Is that negative, neutral, or positive? Positive. Thank you for sharing in the comments. You all know that validating, ooh, you saw some new shoes. So a while ago, Humayun said, is ignoring any better? And I said, well, let me see. You want a pair of shoes or you want to do something and I walk away and ignore you. How good or positive can you feel? So then ignore would go over on the negative. Validation, I see you want something. Oh, tell me about that. Negative, neutral, or positive? Positive. Eve says, I need to learn to validate daily. We need to learn to validate momentarily, minute to minute. You had no clue what this was before creating Champions for Life. Right? Because it's not taught in any, you're not going to learn what we're going to teach you here anywhere else. We're teaching you, first of all, the first half of today's video showed you that yelling at your kids is detrimental. Yes, it does harm them. But we're not just going to sit here and go, don't yell at your kids, because would you know what to do? That's just saying, like, don't run in the house. Does your child know what you want them to do when you say don't run in the house? I said stop it. Right?
Hey, Bonnie.
Yeah.
Can I add one? Because this is like so powerful. How many of us know that 5 plus 5 is not 11? And yes, I will wait for some comments in the comment box. Let me know when they come in, Bonnie. 5 plus 5 is not 11. And I'm going to have the moral issue. I'm going to have to take the moral stance on this and say, but it's true.
Don, it's not wrong. Eve says not wrong, LOL.
But it's true. You can't tell me it's not true. Now, if I'm in school, tell me how I'm going to graduate. I got all the right answers. What color is this? It's not green. That's true. You can't do that here. That's true. But how's the kid going to learn? How are they going to graduate out of the nest? When they're supposed to leave like every single animal in our animal kingdom. Maybe today your aha moment is, oh, I thought the animals were in the
Bring up the
zoo
PDF, Tom.
and I was here.
Kumaun said could be 55. Let's validate.
Now, double negatives is where you see they're validating. You see them doing something. You're like, hey, we don't do that. Hey, right? We start to believe that, oh, well, they're just kids. They can't do that. Or you can't have that cookie now. But it's true. And then controlling, hey, we won't do that here. I understand what you want, but you can't do that here. But it's true. The kid's looking at you going, what kind of messed up situation is this? I picked you to show me how the world works and let me be my uniqueness. And you want to imprint on me what I can't do. And well, you can't go there. What the hell does this mean? And we wonder why they stop listening. And our approach is creating what I would say is everything's working perfectly to stay in the red. I hope that chaps a few of you, because then you can get a little bee in your bonnet, get a little fire underneath your seat and stand up and go, I'm going to make a change. Because doing the same thing of negative plus negative, stealing the deficit of attention to their dreams and goals while they picked you, negative. Showing them a way of can't, don't, or won't. That's a disorder, negative. Attention deficit hyperactivity is a true thing. But it doesn't do anything to help us why we're here and why our relationship is. And I trust that you'll be able to see something today, maybe for the first time. And if so, today was a massive success. Because when you choose to learn to speak, kid, and you choose to step into your power of being a trusted advisor, not what an adult has been trained to be. Read the book and you'll know exactly what we're saying, and then we'll be more on the same page. And you too will click the link to find a discovery session of, hey, if you guys can help me, I'd like to find out, or better yet, let's have another session called A Parenting Path to Paradise and show you how we can show you the yellow brick road of get yourself to healing, uniting, and empowering to get back in alignment. Because the kids are asking us to show us, don't tell me don't. I see you doing it. I want to be just like you. So monkey see, monkey D, show me how to do it. Don't tell me. Don't teach me. Show me. Believe that I can do it versus I can't. I'm just looking for when. If I knew when, I wouldn't need you, big kid, aka adult. Believe that I can learn rather than believing that they have a label where they can't. And instead of controlling them in a way that you want them to, what if there was a way to guide? See the guiding behavior versus punishment. You can't control the genius spirit, but you can guide it. That's what it's asking for.
Where does guide go?
You can't, if you punish it, it's back in the box. That does nothing other than
where does punish
suppress.
go? Sorry? Where does suppress go? So this is where if you're at home and you've got the PDF,
is punishment. Suppress.
Well, yeah,
is punishment.
That's what I'm saying. Where does it go on the chart? This is what we want to teach you parents to start to think, because the whole key to raising champions, creating champions, taking oppositional defiant disorder like I did with my youngest son, who's ODD and ADHD, and helping him become the most outstanding kid around. He's the youngest night coach at Earl's Restaurant in Canada. It's the busiest restaurant in all of Edmonton. Tyler also got a job there, and guess what? They call him the little go-getter. He's not, they don't call him ODD and ADHD. He doesn't need medication to go to his job because we've been working with him for almost 90 days. So this sheet is for you to be aware. What are you saying to your kids now as you go through today? Have this PDF with you. Is what I just said negative, neutral, or positive? Is ignoring them negative, neutral, or positive? Is trying to distract them from their goal, want, need, or desire? Is distraction actually positive? Is it negative? Suppression, punishment, does that lie on the negative side or the positive side of the universe that we're in right now? Guiding behavior, right? So anything that you do, anything that you believe, anything that you say, put it into the linguistics translator. And if most of what you're seeing and believing and saying and doing is on the negative, in the negative column, then doesn't it just make sense that you would live the results, the effect of negativity, arguing, power struggles, chaos, meltdowns, temper tantrums, can't take them to a restaurant, can't go anywhere? If this is the case, we don't just think we can help you, because everything that we teach here at Creating Champions for Life is based on timeless truths, success principles, the success principles of the world. Tyler and I are going to sit and we're going to do an interview inside this group one day this week. I told him if he got up early enough this morning that he could come and sit with me here, but he's not up yet. I told him 8:30 in the morning might be might be a little bit early. So anyways, this is where we started out. This is his demeanor, his vibration when we found him. We did not know Tyler before we adopted him, before we said, "Hey, come live with us." We met him the day before this picture was taken. Can you read his vibration? Can you see his socks over his pants, his hair, like his face, the hat's covering his face? Like, can you see the mess on the floor? Like, just like everything about this picture, the vibration. So, and then let me share with you, maybe 4 or 5 weeks into our journey here. Let me see this one here. Can you see the change of vibration beginning to take place in his demeanor? He's not smiling in this picture, but can you see the vibration is like changing? Comments, share with me in the comments. What do you see? This is Tom taking the boys out shopping. The boys are dream building. They're looking at things that they might want to be, do, and have so they can put it on their vision board. Because if your children just wake up every day and they have no vision, nothing that they're working towards, and they're just going to be following your orders all day long, they have no vision. And the Bible clearly says people without vision perish. So people with vision prosper. So he took them out dream shopping. Hey, you can be, do, and have anything. The very first time we said, what do you want to work towards this week? He was like in such a panic. I don't know. Like, I don't even know what I can ask for. This is him with his journal and his dream board, and he's writing out his plan. Tom's working a plan with him. He's working through it. He's never had any training like this before in his life. He's working through, he's got this whole book now, and every day he sits and he writes in his book, I am in control of my body and my actions. I am powerful. I am smart. I am great. We're feeding him messages every day. We're proactively spending attention with him so that there is no need for attention deficit. There's no need for oppositional defiant or conduct disorder. And by the way, if I didn't mention, Tyler is on the top 50 worst kids on the police reports for being one of the top 50 most dangerous kids in Edmonton, by the way. Now, this is Tyler now, just probably 2 weeks ago at Costco. And he's like, ooh, look at this gaming chair. And he's sitting in the gaming chair. Celine says he's carrying himself taller. Eve says, yes, the hat isn't hanging over his face. He's not hiding behind his hair. That's right. Dawn sees more confidence in his demeanor. He's adapting nicely. He's adapting nice. He's a totally different kid. No meds, no sleeping pills. He didn't think he could sleep without sleeping pills when he first got here. Like, I'm telling you what, we haven't had an eye roll, a rude comment, anything. And probably, I want to say right around when this picture was taken, about 2 weeks ago. And in fact, he's waking up in the morning now. like I'm feeling like all emotional. The posture has opened up rather than hiding. Yes. So now he wakes up in the morning and he's like, he just doesn't even say anything. He opens his arms. Hello, family. I hope you have an awesome morning today. Anyway, I'm just saying, like, he's a totally different kid. And, you know, it's not us. It's the principles that we're following. It's the proactive attention. It's the absolute drawn out, uh, proactive environment that we create in our home. This is not Bonnie and Tom. Bonnie and Tom are just regular, ordinary people. I used to cry in the bathroom. I was the nicest, meanest parent in the world. I thought I was the greatest parent in the world because I was everything for my children. I did everything for my children. I bought them the nicest clothes. I got them a 7-bedroom house. They all had their own bedroom, their own computers, their own karaoke machines, their own Nintendo DSs. But they would do I could be dying of a heart attack and they would not carry my groceries in. You know what I'm saying? And they were all like just heading down a path with no confidence, massive amounts of anxiety, very lots of sadness. And then Tom came into our lives in a total roundabout, unexpected way. That you could only say it was God's plan to bring us together, because I not only had the dream to empower kids since 1994. It was 1994 when Thomas got his black belt and said, I'm going to do the opposite of anything negative to guide my white belts when I become a teacher. He created Creating Champions for Life. I led teams to 10,000, being number one single female in a 16-year-old company the only single female to ever reach the top of the company, because I knew to follow principles. I knew to be proactive. I knew to set goals. I knew how to lead and guide my team. And then I was going home and trying to control my children's behavior and just seeing the results of the effect, which was me. And so if you become the cause in your home, you become the leader in your home, and your children's behavior become the effect to your proactive life skills training, leadership style parenting, where you step into your power and you begin to believe in your children more than any diagnosis that they've been diagnosed with, more than anything that you've ever, like, more than the bad behavior that you're perceiving it to be. You start believing in their potential. I saw a video on Instagram the other day that said we need to lower our expectations. That is not true. Your children are quite capable. We need to start raising our expectations, but then we need to take the time to proactively spend time with them, teach them the life skills that they need, and offer some free will so that they feel they have some control over their life. And they can go, look what I did, Mom, all by myself without you. Doesn't that feel so much better than them behaving because you told them so? Anyway, I'm done. I'd like to open it up. Does anybody have any comments, questions, observations while you're thinking about anything you'd like to share? Tom, is there anything that you'd like to add before we open it up to questions? If you have any questions and you're watching, please type them in the comments now. We will address them for you. If you have to go, I understand. The replay will be available. And if you're in the live room with us and you want to have a talk with us, simply turn your camera on and we'll bring you on the screen with us. Thomas?
I trust that today was exactly perfect, right for you to maybe see something you never saw before, but you knew intuitively it was there. Maybe it was something that you knew already, and this brought it back to life so you can go, oh, I remember that when I was younger, of the first time I had an uncle that could see my greatness and showed me how to do something, where dad was a dick, but my uncle was the cool guy, and they were saying the exact same message, but the cause was different. This might have also, I trust that you're having some faith, which is the ability to move forward in the absence of all negative thought. Get out of the red, the negative, and go into the positive side. And that you're inspired to just do something consistently every day, like breathing, because that's where miracles and wonders give birth. It's the consistency. And maybe the last thing that maybe today was perfectly right for you is that maybe you are doing something and you're a go-getter and you're never going to quit. And you've been fighting tooth and nail to just keep on keeping on. But they didn't show you the right tools. Or maybe you do got all the tools, but not how to use them in the right way. And maybe you didn't have a trusted advisor because your parents did the best they could under the circumstances. So we got to honor them for that. But maybe maybe you want to be more and really be that trusted advisor that your kids picked when they showed up. So I trust today was perfect for you to see something, know something, be inspired to do something, and be a better leader that your kids have been asking, that we were asking when we all showed up here in physical form, better known as Happy Day of Birth. You made it to Earth. Congratulations. Let's do our missing life skills training and let's prepare to launch out of the nest. And I trust, and I say this with every fiber of my being, you will have the opposite of what an empty nest syndrome is. You will have the strongest, tightest connection with your genius offspring all the way until we celebrate Happy Transition Day with our regret meter as close as possible to 0.
100%.
Back to you, Bonnie.
Eve's here, and she can say what her boy said about her in just a minute. But Ricardo, you said, how do you start? The last time I finished the live and went to YouTube, the comments that were there were gone. So it has to be in your court. If you can click on the description and join our Raising Healthy, Happy, Cooperative Kids group, I'm going to send you a welcome message. You can reply to my message and we can start talking. The second way that you can get in touch with us, if you're like, I love you guys, I want to learn more, please help me with a customized parenting plan. Send me an email, Bonnie at, and it's all spelled out, creatingchampionsforlife.com. Bonnie at creatingchampionsforlife.com. And we can have a conversation. So those are a couple ways that you can get started, at least talking with us. We can't guarantee you guys that you'd be right for our program. There is an application process. We do a 15-minute discovery session just to see if what you're looking for and what we're looking for could be a solution. Every Friday, I send out an email invitation with that link. You can just book a discovery session if you're on our email list. So anyways, it's up to you. Hopefully that makes sense. Bonnie at creatingchampions with an S for life.com. And Eve, did you get some headphones? Did you get a microphone yet?
I have headphones. My microphone is off because
you sound beautiful. You must be talking to your headphones.
No, headphones.
Okay, you sound beautiful. So is that Roman?
That was Armani.
Oh, Armani.
Yeah. You want to say hi because they can hear you, sassy pants?
I want to say hi.
I would love to say hi.
To that guy?
Hi.
Well, Romy wants to say hi.
Hello. How are you today?
Oh, should I take my headphones off because he can't hear you?
Well, if that's all he wanted was to say hi and we validated his need, want, and desire, and he's good to go.
Here, say hi. Now he can hear you. Say
hi. Hi. How are you today?
Good.
Are you going to show your face in the camera today?
I do.
Yeah, there you are. Before you were hiding behind
smile.
Mom. You're getting more
confident. Show him your picture?
Oh.
You want to show him the one that you just drew? This one?
No, yeah. You show it.
This one?
Yeah, the start.
You just
did
wow.
I show it? Okay. He just did coloring. We're doing oceans for homeschool.
Good job. What a beautiful job. My mom used to always yell at me for not coloring in the lines, but you did a beautiful job.
I have the encouragement of no matter what kind of art you create, it's art, whether people can see it or not. See his checkerboard, he has a checker.
Awesome.
What is your checkerboard fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
but, I don't know why I'm holding it wrong. I always think outside the line, so I don't encourage
Now I can be done.
Inside the lines
I'm
only.
You're
going
done
You're done
now.
talking? Okay, thank you.
I'm going to draw now.
Okay, go draw. He's embracing his own uniqueness with his art, which he was so, I don't want to draw art because I'm not good at it. And now
Right.
he loves it and he's getting better at it. And I love
Amazing.
his artwork. Where's the artwork that you did of mommy the other day? You drew a picture of me. Oh, and then Armani, you don't want to show it? He's being shy. But this is
Aw.
Armani's artwork.
Sorry.
He did a
Wow.
Halloween, sorry, I don't know why I'm holding it sideways. He did a Halloween shark with
Cool.
tattoos. She said,
Very
wow,
cool.
cool, very cool.
What did the bald guy say?
What did the bald guy say?
What is
When your brain expands, your hairline goes back.
He said,
I love that.
The
See, you
reason why he's
gotta
bald is
love
when his
what they
brain
say.
expands, the hair grows
How could
back.
you
So his
ever
brain
take
is
it
really big.
personal? This is the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I see a hat. I see a hat on that shark. Is there a
Yes,
hat
he
on
does.
that shark?
There's a hat. Uh-huh.
My
There's a hat.
goodness.
It's
Look
a
at the
poop.
creativity.
It's a poop.
Yep.
That is
You put
amazing. I see
Tattoos
a
on there.
yellow
He made
eye.
he made a fish at the
mean-
end. What was it? You said it was a Halloween shark, so he kind of made like a monster-y looking like thing. A
And
cat.
there's a jack-o'-lantern. I see a jack-o'-lantern tattoo because probably mom
Yep.
has tattoos.
Yep.
And then there looks like a spider web or a spiral in there and a spider.
Yep.
My
Spider
goodness,
web
this
and
boy's
a
amazing.
wolf. And he's seen all the things, the wolf and the moon and all those things. Yes, very, very creative. Show him your other one. You did a pirate one. They're very, very creative. And I'm trying to incorporate art for homeschool just so that they can enjoy it, and so can I.
My pizza.
We're
is
embracing
that
our
your
own
puppy
uniqueness.
growling?
Yes, sorry, we have workers outside. Tea, say hi.
Now,
She's
hang on
my
a second.
puppy.
You cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. What is the dog's name?
Tinkerbell.
Now, watch how this is amazing. Tinkerbell is doing, and I'm assuming the her is doing
Yes.
her job,
pirate
and we're
shark.
going.
Yes, she is.
"Shh, hush! Don't do this. Don't you? You're interrupting my show." This
I
little
know.
one is going. Look, that's right. They're out.
I know.
Look
Good
how
girl.
good
Go
you're
get him, Kelly.
doing.
I know.
That's right.
We can't hear you because we've got our headphones in, so
I am
Tinkerbell
so
can't hear you, Tom.
thankful that the dog is actually doing its job and you validate it.
I know.
Because
Good
you will
girl.
never be able to hush it. It will just go around like this from your hand and bark again.
I know.
You gotta
She hears
love
them
this
and she's
stuff.
like, Mom, it's my job to protect this house. Yes, I know.
That's right.
I know.
Because
And
of
you know what?
you-
You guys help me see that better because, kids' job is to have energy and go wild, and we are always trying to stifle it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you got to harness it. You can harness energy and direct it.
Yes.
You can
I
never
like
control
that.
it.
I need
So
to
What a
Eve,
good girl you is. Good job.
really quickly, just share what your little guy said about you and what kind of human being you are.
Which one? That you're the best mom ever invented?
Well, yeah, share how that went. Now you let
He
the cat
said
out
it
of the
again the
bag,
other
but like,
day.
yeah.
He said it. I'm sorry. He said it the other day again. Mom, can you remember what you said the other day to mommy? Mommy, I love you so much. You're the best mom ever invented. Yeah.
show the picture.
You want to show that picture? Go ahead. You show. You show
I
it.
drew it, but he colored it.
Go ahead.
You stole it. What, you're the parenting course person?
I'm the parenting course person.
Well, that's
Yeah,
awesome. Well, I'm gonna let you go. You're very busy
Show
with
it.
Mama today. But
I'm gonna show you Armani's artwork one more time. This is a
Okay.
pirate one that he drew of a shark.
wow, I love it.
A swordfish shark.
A swordfish shark, pirate fish type of
I
thing.
love
So he's
the
got an
beanie hat.
anglerfish. Yep. So it's an anglerfish because we're learning about deep sea fishing. Watch out, baby. You don't want her to bite you.
I don't care.
That's
So
awesome. I love your
he's
kids.
having a lot of fun being
Now
super
show this,
creative.
show this
Oh,
one.
okay. That's the last
It's
one.
a shark with eyeballs.
Oh wow.
A shark. I don't know why I can't.
It's
It's backwards, I guess. I'm
shark
backwards
with
on the
good.
page.
eyeballs.
It's a shark with a mohawk and a fish. What is that? A snake in the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
My
yesterday we learned about
goodness.
eels.
That's so
Yep.
How
good.
creative
So
is
we're
that little
we're
genius?
having school, art school / creative while we're learning, while we're drawing. Yes.
Oh,
What else
the
did you want
stream
me to
was
say, Bonnie?
ended
I'm
or
sorry.
deleted on Facebook. That's lovely.
A poop.
Okay. Anyways, I guess our stream was ended on Facebook. So
Is there a way to share this, by the way, with somebody in a text message or no?
Can I be in the
yeah, it'll be on
parenting
YouTube. So
Okay.
I'll put the link from YouTube on there.
Okay. I did have a parent compliment my parenting the other day, and she was telling her kids, I'm trying to remember what she was telling them. Don't run or don't do something. And I said, can we just adjust it into the positive format? Tell them what you want them to do. And she was like, you know what? You're right. I never thought about it that way. So she really is inquiring. I told her to follow you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Hey, Celine, can you come on and we can do a Creating Champions for Life goodbye together? Awesome.
Hello.
Hello and welcome. And we'll talk to you. We'll hear your story next week. But for now, Tom, lead us out.
All right. So once again, like I said, I trust that today was exactly what you came here for. You gave yourself an inspiration to move forward in faith, which is the absence of all negative thought. And you found some truth that's been in your heart, maybe suppressed like it was in the box for way too long, and they got a chance to come out and be a genius who is embracing their own uniqueness, just like the beautiful art that we saw here today. So until we meet again, here's
To our parenting success.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye for
Bye
now.
for now, everybody.
Bye.